Shalom, brothers and sisters. Give me a moment. If you see the screen is black, it's intentional. It's supposed to be black. Give me a second. I'm getting things ready. I miscalculated something. Shalom, brothers and sisters. I know the screen is black. Yeah, so how's it going on, brothers? You heard the attack on the beloved brother Big Judah. They took the video down because things are happening. We are hitting those people where it hurts the most. So they don't like that. We're going to keep pushing, brothers. As we push through this fast, things are getting harder for them. Things are getting a lot scarier for them, brothers and sisters. So that is why, they are getting really, really mad because this thing ain't gonna go nowhere. They can cry. They can they strike the brother channel. That's what they did to me when I started last year. They took down the video of that is why it's very important, brother. It's very important that is when one of the brother drop a video, you have to watch it instantly. And those of you out there that feel like you want to do something for the Most High, buy an external hard drive anytime. Big Judah, Elder here, beloved brother Abdullah Seer, any of our brothers drop a video, it is your duty to download this video and keep it in archive or upload it and on the internet on archive, the internet archive. It's your duty to do something like this. That is if you want to do something for the Most High. I have an external hard drive, brothers, okay? I have an external hard drive. I download all my videos, all the lives that I've done. I have downloaded them. And I put this thing all the way down there. Brothers, sisters, it is your duty.
Reason 10. Green sample manipulate.
All right. It is your duty, brothers, to go out there to download the videos that the brothers does and keep it in that external hard drive, which is going to be filled up very fast. I have 3 terabytes of hard drive, brothers. I have 3 terabytes. I just keep it there. If you do not know how to do this, don't trouble yourself with it. I'm talking about the people that have that skills. Our young people watching here, all you need to do, okay, our own young people that are watching here, all you need to do, brothers and sisters, is to go to Walmart or to it's really hot. Is music playing in this thing? All you need to do is going to Walmart, or you can go to Amazon. Okay? Yeah, I had the cover of the screen. I don't know where I'm going, but putting colon. But anyway, it's 10% half it. I was washing the holy beard, make that thing clean. That thing's a freaking maintenance, man. So, anywhere from Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Amazon, get an external hard drive, at least a terabyte. You backed up the video of the brothers out there, the sisters out there, the people that you like. Every video they upload, you download it, okay? And then once you do, Forgive me, brothers. It's just like I have little to less time. I don't want to talk and then have people they can hear me, they can see me. A lot of people get nervous if they can see me. They're like, brother Levi, are you under spiritual attack? Where is brother Levi? Something black is blacking. Am I blind? I hear things, but I cannot see you. But I'm here. I'm here, brothers. Okay, so you go to one of those places, brothers, you buy an external hard drive. Let me show you how they look like. Okay. An external hard drive. This is one right here. Oops. It look like a little. There you go. See, this is an external hard drive. All right. I download all my videos. Everything that I done is in there. So when they took down all the videos that they took down, I got them there. I'm pretty sure brothers Big Judah had them. I will strongly advise you to download all brother Ayil live video. I don't think his video is backed up though. I think he has another channel called Fruit of First Fruit or something like that. But they are not backed up like in his hard drive. One of you must take that duty and go over there. And one of you must go over there and then take that upon yourself and download the beloved brother, because Ayel do 99% of his work or live. When you do your lesson live, they are not you don't have them in your computer. They're on YouTube. If the beloved brother's channel go down, everything is out. So one of you is your duty to go out there to take all his live and download it, make it an archive, uploaded them in the archive of the internet. Because when this hash went down, brothers, people are going to people are going to go look for things, man. We have to put things left and right, because things gonna go down. Certain people, certain country, brothers, they ban YouTube. Like in China, I don't think you can watch YouTube. Yes, he has another channel, but he doesn't, I don't know yet. Maybe one of you may ask him if he has his video backed up in a hard drive, all his live. Please send him an email. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, yes. Thank you, sister. You need to do this, brothers. You need to put those things to DVDs. If anybody you listen, you can help me how to upload those things on Amazon Prime. Other countries, they do not allow YouTube, yet they allow Amazon, Vimeos, and stuff like that. This is your duty. It's a heavy work, brothers. We have to do this. It's heavy, okay? It's very heavy, okay? We have to put hands together and do the work. And they took down the beloved Big Judah stuff down. Now, a lot of you didn't see this video. A lot of you didn't see this video. Oh, is that thing playing? Okay. All right, let me put this thing down. Give me a second. All right. So, yeah. So the beloved brothers out there, all my lives, except for the one far back, I have my backup channel has all my old live backed up on it. I only put the lives only. I don't put the regular videos on there. Only the lives and the prayers. Okay, Alone in This Work podcast and the prayers. Besides that, I don't put anything on there. All right. Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, welcome, brothers and sisters. Okay. Shalom, brother James Stewart. Shalom. Again, certain country brothers and sisters, they do not allow YouTube. Yet those people have Amazon. We can't do anything about Netflix. They have Vimeo, they have other platform. We need to upload those videos over there. It's your duty as somebody that is savvy or savant and this type of things. I was trying to upload these things on Amazon. It turned out to be a pain, and oh, and I already have a sister working on my what they call this thing again, prayers. Okay, she's transcribing the prayers. If you can, you out there, anybody over there that are watching, you good at transcribing things. If you can transcribing the Alone in this podcast live, every time we do one, you transcribe it, you send it, and I upload it to other places, because YouTube, we got people that can't hear, but they can read. Okay, we need the proper transcription, something like that, because the one that YouTube have is just like, it's just, backward. That is if the Most High put it in your spirit. I'm not anointing anybody to do this. The people that are doing this, we have, excuse me, we have two people moderating the Facebook group. If you want to be a part of that, or if you want to be a part of this, you can monitoring and moderating the Facebook group. And we need a website, a collective website. When I said a collective website, it doesn't have to be for Big Levi only. It has to be the nation website. Everybody that is agreeing the Most High and raise the Most High above everybody. The website gonna have the beloved brother Big Judah, Elder Ayir Abdullah Sir, Elder Kadash, the beloved sister Naima Laverne, my stuff, all the people that are agreeing the Most High is all powerful and there will be no freaking Jacob's trouble. Okay, this is him coming up. Yes, we need a website. If you can do things like that, if the Most High anointed you, you'll know the Most High will anointed you for this. Okay. All right, and then you can do this. Brothers and sisters, thank you and welcome. All right, we are going to go to this, brothers. We're going to study. I'll run out of proper. I like the yellow highlighter. Now I have using the orange one, which is beautiful, but it's just I feel like to highlight it the whole book, brothers. The whole book. This book, I feel like to highlight it the whole book, brothers and sisters. Please give us a thumbs up for the other brethren to find this. But anyway, let us begin, brothers. We will see Saul madness. Saul lost his freaking mind, brothers. Saul lost his freaking mind. Yes, the beloved Big Judah already have a website. That is good. But what I'm saying, brothers, I don't want the website to be my website, okay, like biglevi.com. Okay, I want it to be for the nation. If it is biglevi.com, good. Okay, so and then I would be glad if it was for the nation. We'll bring all the group of the brothers together, and then we make this website for the entire world. Okay, we got people in China. I didn't know that. We got people in China, man. We got people in the Philippines. Somebody in the Philippines messaged me, a Filipino, whatever they call it over there. Okay, all right. I have Southeast Asian people watching our videos, and they are very well interested. So we need to build a platform, okay, to get our stuff. That is if you're servant in this. If you don't know anything about that, please just pray for the person that do to move along. All right. Really, I just fill this thing with water. Since when I drink it, brothers, at 10 we will sanctify the fast. And I'm not expecting any call, but the Most High. So I might be able, to get get a phone call. So oh, brothers, whoever say water doesn't have any energy in it, can't go themselves. So now. Brothers, my daughter gonna come running in here because she heard the whistle. So this is letter 5, brothers, and we are going to get the we're going to see how mad Saul was, brothers. Saul was now, brothers. When I'm reading this, I understand when you come upon the loin of the Most High, brother. When the Most High cut you off, when the Most High say, "I cut somebody off," that means He cut you off for good. He cut you off for good, brothers and sisters. But before we begin, let me pull up the testimony of the sisters. I have a couple people sending things. All right. Let me read this. The beloved sister Alicia Larry, she wants the nation to pray for her because she's facing eviction in her apartment, and she pay all her rent and everything. She pay all her rent. She never been late, but demons always. They've been persecuting her since December to February. So she's facing eviction. So we will keep her in prayer, brothers. She said the prayers are working. Okay, this is some of the proof that the prayers are working. All right, this is one of them. Shalom, Big Levi. A few weeks ago, this is Sister Arderly. Okay, Sister Arderly Israel. She said, Shalom, Big Levi. A few weeks ago, I request prayer for my son because he was having a hard time being out of work and he's lost his job. Well, he called me today to let me know that he's unemployment. He got $3,500 and he got the stimulus check for $600. I'm happy for him. We praise the Most High together. And I wanted to thank you for praying for him. Big Levi, the power of prayer works. All praises to the Most High Yah for family to pray together. Be blessed. All praises, brothers and sisters. The brother, he lost his job. He didn't have no money. He asked his mother, listen, mom, I don't know what to do. And the mother called upon the nation, will call upon the Most High, and then help has arrived. Fast, pray, repent, repeat, claim victory, brothers and sisters, in the name of the Most High. Claim victory. All right. That's one of them. All right. So, all right. There is another sister that sent something the other day. I believe it was Sister Sandra. Yes. Okay. So, all right. This is Sister Sandra Ali. Shalom, Big Levi and the nation. I had to share this. I've been battling demons in my home. I have written as for prayer. When we began the 40 days fast, these demons started showing themselves. I was determined not to stop fasting. I thought I was praying to the Most High, but nothing was happening. But I kept on praying. Then the other night, I had to talk with the Most High. I knew I was saved. I knew I was in a battle. I spoke out loud. I was not going to quit. I was going on. I wasn't going to back down. The Most High led me to several prayers in which I played all night over and over. He showed me how to speak into the atmosphere. Then a peace came over me. I asked the Holy Mother to help me also. She did. I had noticed through the Holy Spirit that we were under a spell. I started to read scriptures from the Bible out loud through my place. The person went to sleep. I continued to read out loud. Those who were under the spells were free. And this evening, I opened the door and this big black thing went out. Hallelujah. God, YAHAWAH. Don't give up no matter how bad it gets. Shalom. All right. The sister was having demons. She saw things crawling in her house. It's not dreams. She actually saw them. She said, Brother Levi, I pray. She asked the nation, we pray for the sister, and now that big, giant, black, dark thing get out of the house. And she felt peace. This is a true warrior of the Most High, brothers. That is why we must keep on fighting, keep on pushing this, man. That is why Perry Stone can hold on to this. They took the beloved brother video down. Yeah. Because it's getting very, very bad, brothers. You may not feel it, but they do. They do. All praises to the Most High, brothers. Oh, thank you for the beloved brother Gatriel. City Banks just made a $500 million mistake. They just sent $500 million to a bunch of people randomly. So things like that going to happen. Okay, that's why we see people are receiving money left and right. Yeah, so it's just crazy, man. All right, brothers. Oh boy, I'm only 20 minutes here, man. I don't have time. Let me do this. This is gonna take. This is gonna take time. Yeah, it's gonna take time. So things like that going to happen, brothers. Yeah. And then the judge rule on the favor. They see, hey, yeah, they cannot get it back. They fight. They say, no, you can't get it back, man. $500 million gone. Whoever get this, Jews and Gentiles are like, you bless, man. You know, Citibank is what they call this again. Citibank is a partnership. Like, I don't know how you people call it again. It's like Citibank is interconnected with a bunch of banks. Bank of America, all the finances. So you don't know what you're gonna receive. Hopefully, one of our people get a slice of that pizza, man. Yeah. Okay. Bob Hope just said he has stage 4 cancer. Brothers, if we keep trying to bring what happened, brothers, we won't be getting in this book, brothers. It's too much. You know, it's too much. Oh yeah, man. Oh yes. Yes. Brothers and sisters, let us dive in. Let us dive in, brothers. Let us dive in. All right. Now, this is the again before one. This is gonna be at least 2 hours. Okay. All right, brothers. Let me just give me a second. Let me just put a pillow on my chair because my butt is going to hurt while sitting on this thing, man. There you go. Oh, that's better. Man. All right, brothers, you're going to learn how messed up Saul was, brothers, and Aaron death. I didn't research this. I believe, did Aaron die before Moses? Which one of them died before? Which one of them died first? Mm-hmm. All right. Oops. See if that thing had water in it. That would be a mess. I don't like to sit that long, man. Moses died first? No, Aaron died first. Yeah, Aaron died first. Oh, Bob Doll is a scumbag. We really don't want to talk about this, guys. Bob Doll. It would be best for his sister not to know Bob Doll and what Bob Doll is. Oh, Bob Hope. Which one? Which one of the scumbag? Bob Doll or Bob Hope? Which one? Okay, Aaron died first. All right then. Okay, if brothers, do your due diligence because I didn't. I'm just bringing it to you. Okay, you do this because according to this book, Moses was there doing the death of Aaron. Okay, you'll understand why the Moses had to kill Aaron. All right. This is Abbasis, the ambassador visiting our people in the land, and he's writing back to his cousin. This is letter 5. Abbasis, the ambassador to Belus, the king of Assyria. Okay, ambassadors came plain of Mamre before Hebron. My dear cousin and king, the city before which I am encamped, your majesty, is one of the oldest in this part of the earth, even older than ancient Tanis. Once the capital of the northern. Wait a minute, did I did this before? It seems like I did this. Well, I've been studying a lot. Let me see. No. Hang on, brothers. I don't think I gotta do my due diligence here. Okay, that's. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, there's a lot here, man. There's a lot. I don't feel like cutting anything. I feel like to read the whole thing, brothers, the whole letter for you. It's just there's so much in here. What am I doing? No, I haven't. All right, because I've been reading ahead. So yeah. When Joshua conquered the land, it was the stronghold of Canaanitish king, who himself was of gigantic stature of the family of Anakim. Define stature. Stature. When they're talking about physical stature, it says here, when Joshua conquered the land, it was the stronghold of a Canaanitish king, who himself was a gigantic stature of the family of Anakim. Brothers, who were the Anakimites or the Anakims? Who were the sons of Anak? Who is Anak? Who is Anak, brothers? Huh? Stature. Person's natural height. Men of short stature, a short person. Men of high stature. Gigantic. Big height. A giant. They made it clear here, giant. The sons of Anak were the guys when the 12 spies went over their brothers. The 12 spies, they saw the sons of Anak, and then they come back. They give a very bad report to Moses. They say, Moses, we saw the sons of Anak. Those guys don't play. They are giants. We look like grasshoppers in their own and our own sight when they were to them. That's brothers. If you refer yourself to a grasshopper to those guys, that means they were big or titans. That is because they were giant, brothers, you know. And this term, it means giant physically, not smart or somebody that is a very smart king. Nah, man, those guys were giants. The Canaanites were giant, black giant walking around. Yeah, that's what happened. Now, okay, the Philistine. I'm jumping from pages to where I think it's important for the people to know. So they met the sons of Anak. Okay, the sons of Anak. Well, they killed them. That's where Anak used to the king, the Canaanite king. Okay, King Og. That's where Og. They are talking about Og Palace now. They are talking about where that gigantic King Og used to live. They took King Og's place. The Philistines have actually thrown out their advanced troop so far as to cover the road towards Egypt and intercept all travel in that direction. They have a twofold motive, perhaps both to plunder caravans and to cut off supply from King Saul in Hebron. I shall therefore be under the necessity of remaining here until a battle is fought and the way open, which I trust will be a very few days. So the ambassador got trapped in the land with us because what the Philistines were about to attack. So the Philistine, they went around and encircled the country. So they blocked the road that go to Egypt. And then he writing the king, say, King, I can't really go because we saw the Philistines are getting around and they are getting things ready. They're about to attack. There's two reasons why they are doing this. One, to attack the place, and two, to swagger jack and to swagger jack the caravans. Okay, all right. All right, give me a second. All right, I received an email here. I can't read this right now, brothers. Okay, I will go ahead and that. Okay. Now, he tell the king he can't go back to Egypt because the word is black. A battle about to take place. Battle formation. Yeah, I need the ice. We will sanctify the fast another hour, brothers. Hopefully, we got like half of this. Just keep knocking on the door, man. Yeah. This is Arbaces, the ambassador of Assyria to the king Belus from Assyria. This is what he wrote, brothers. The king is diligently assembling his army. He's talking about King Saul. And the prince is active in lending his efficient aid. In case of an attack upon these troublesome foes, I shall not withhold my services and those of my battalion of Assyrians. A spy report that the force south of Hebron numbers 10,000 men, which evidently intended some important movement. So he said there's a battle formation. The Philistine is about to attack. He said, in case those guys attack the Hebrews, I will not hold my sword. I will not let my men just sit there and watch. I'll fight on the behalf of the Hebrews. This is a heathen, a Gentiles, bro. He willing to die for the people. He willing to fight for the Most High. That's how much respect we had back then. This guy's barely been there 30 days. He willing to give his life for the people and our God. His proper response, brothers, should be, King, if there's anything happen, I'll stand down, I'll stay neutral. This is not our fighting and stuff. No, he's saying, yeah, that thing happened, we will fight them. We will help the Hebrews. I'm jumping down. Almost the first inquiry made by me, or of me, King Saul. So King Saul made an inquiry, okay? He made an inquiry of Belus, of Abbasis. He said, almost the first inquiry made of me by King Saul after I was presented to him was, if arms in abundance were in Assyria, and your majesty will permit your merchant to sell 100,000 weapons of all arms to the Hebrews. The first thing Saul, when that he's talking, that's what's going to happen in the future, because he haven't seen Saul yet. He said the first thing that Saul tell him, Saul said, "Hey man, if it is please your majesty, if it is please your king, can you guys sell me 100,000 weapons, 100,000 ammos and things like that?" They need weapons. They need guns. That is why when some of you people, when you see one of us with a freaking gun, you lose your mind. You see, the church did to you what the Philistine did to the Israelite when they were occupying them during the Judges, during the messed up Judges. You know what the Philistine did, brothers? They disarmed the entire nation. They took all their guns and weapons. They disarmed them. The same thing goes to slavery. They put laws that you cannot own gun. You know why? Because they know you're born warriors. They know naturally you can take this. If you can channel, if you know what this is, how to use it, you can channel the Most High energy to this. You make this a powerful weapon. How? Samson in the book of Judges took a draw of an ass and killed somewhere 1,000 men or 10,000. I'm not quite sure. Please verify that. And for those of you that will send me your little silly email like, "Oh, Big Levi, yeah, I understand you're doing some lesson, but could you refrain of saying profanity like ass?" It mean a donkey. If I found a jawbone of a donkey, he used that jawbone, brothers and sisters. He killed like 1,000 men with it because you could channels energy. You could channel energy through weapon. This is a sword. Okay, please. Don't be sending me your silly little emails and try to send me silly little things and things like that. Trying to explain to me how love. Oh, love. Oh, you gotta love, man. You don't have love in your heart. Because I read his story, I know what's going on. All right? Please refrain from sending me your silly email. Try to explain to me your concern. I don't need your concern. The most I concern is mine. That's the only thing I need. Don't be sending me your Christian bull. Brothers, you won't believe how many times I'm receiving those things, man. What people trying to telling you what to say. They're like, okay, can you not say this word? Because I feel offended. Again, open the window on the second floor and jump out. He said, King Saul, after I was president to him, if arms is an abundance were in Assyria, and if your majesty will permit your merchant to sell me 100,000 weapons of all arms to the Hebrews. Courage and zeal will not effect much in war without serviceable weapons. All right. The profound policy of the Philistine and disarming their conqueror foes is now clearly apparent. So he said that, you see, this is what happened. Now you start seeing, brother, when the Philistine disarmed the Israelites, now it show up. They don't have any weapon. They don't have enough weapon to fight. They have somewhere around 7,000 men, but they don't have any more that much weapon. Okay, which really they truly don't need. You'll see why. Okay. An hour since, 1,000 Hebrews marched past towards the town. Not half of them were armed in a soldier manner, and this not uniformly, while the rest either carried sharp bits of iron or steel secure at the hands of a staff, or shouldered reaping hooks, and indeed many of the swords I saw had been rudely shaped out of sickles and scythes. What happened is they got 7,000 soldiers well armed. Then they got 1,000 brothers. They were farmers. They were shepherds, herdsmen. Fish, pork, knife, stick, and then they're going to fight an army that is well equipped. They're going to fight an army that is well equipped, brothers. Okay? Give me a second. All right, then. Good. Sometimes, brothers, I have to check the email because sometimes we have important things. So, they got a bunch of dudes, 1,000 of them with a bunch of inferior arms, and then they're about to fight the guys. That's why those people don't want you to have any weapon, and they put it in the church to speak against gun. Gun is evil. When the entire Edomite system is based on the weapon, the blessing, the entire blessing is based on the sword. But they don't want you to have the sword. The Philistine, on the contrary, are well harnessed for battle, are mailed and iron, and defend by helm of cuirasses. Besides, they have battalion of chariots of iron, with broad curved knives secured to the ends of the axles, while their horsemen are numbered by the thousands, all clad in panoply, all steel, and wielding formidable lances. Moreover, they have, as am I told by the Hebrews, a bodyguard of 100 giants, sons of Anak, who attend their king, who is also gigantic warrior, 6 cubits or more in height, or nearly 10 feet. He is with the main army west of this, so report the spies encamped in large plain, which is in darkness by his countless hosts. the division sought of us I have seen, for doubting the accuracy of the observation of the men of Beersheba who bought the report, and they beheld and high. Let me see. Oops, this book is so old. Any little thing you do, brothers, you caught it. It's 161 years old. So okay, on high road. So it is, yeah, breastplate. The army of the Philistine is well armed, brothers. That is like the hood going against the U.S. Army. The Philistine, that's what they do. They are cowards. They took all your weapon. Okay, this guy, he took your boxing glove. He took everything to box, and then he called you to the boxing ring, and then he bought a freaking tank. He inside of a tank. He's inside of a tank. He got a bunch of soldiers, and then he said, let's box. Well, boxing is supposed to be hand-to-hand fighting, but what's going on? That's how coward they were. They got all the best arm and stuff. Plus, they got 100 giants with them, the sons of Anak. Plus, they got like that one giant king with them. They are cowards. That's how they fight. Till this day, you can see those people doing the same thing. As my eyes fell upon them, they were going through me. Okay. Now, what happened is, Abbasis take, I think, 600 or 200 of his men. They went as a spy, brothers. They went as a spy. They go watch. They go ahead to see what's the formation of the Philistine. So when they got there, this is what they saw. As my eyes fell upon them, they were going through military evolution. Chariots in long line were wheeling across the plain. Bodies of cavalry charged hither and thither. Men at arms in columns were marched and counter-marched. Bowmen were discharging flight of arrows, and spearmen throwing their long weapons at imaginary adversaries. Banners, flutterer, plumes, tossed, swords flashing, helmets gleaming, lance points glittering in the sun, and the noise of the chariots' wheels, the loud thump of hooves, the tramp of many running feet, the wild shouted of chief and woman. Man, it was all over. When he got there, brothers, he saw the Philistine training, setting the lances, arrow, fighting, shouting. Oh, they were running, they were ranting, chanting, and those Philistines, you know what they do, brothers? They have some. That's why those people really, they like to call us out of our name. They like, you see how those guys really like to call us certain things, certain names. Okay? Back then they called this name slave and dog, which was it's a high offense to call somebody a dog and a slave. Okay? All right? So they were training. They're going to attack. They were training, brothers. Those guys were all over. They got all heavy. Brothers, they got the best weapons. They got the best group, the best formation, the best army. And they were training in the plain of Mamre. So the Abbasis and Jonathan went to see them. So went and spied on them. So they saw them. Okay, I had parted the causeway. Sheba. All right, let's drink a little water. Now, when they get training, they are shouting name of the Hebrew names. Jesus Christ, YAHAWAH, called that Samaritan woman a dog. Okay, call her a dog because the Samaritan were horrible people, man. The Samaritan were horrible people. Only one of them did one good thing in the Bible. That's why they call it the Good Samaritan. That's why YAHAWAH told the disciple, go anywhere, but don't freaking go to Samaritan, and don't go into the city of the Samaritan. Those were horrible people. Okay, don't tell the YAHAWAH. Again, I see people taking the book, the New Testament. Oh, there's a new covenant. Everybody can get in as long as you say you're sorry. As long as you call Jesus Christ. What? The New Testament is even a bigger deal. It's even a bigger nail in your coffin than the old one. In fact, there's no New Testament. The covenant was made with Adam, and then it passing all the way up onto us. That's all it is. You guys went in there, you wrote things, you take things out, you hide books, you make it look like you're going to make it. Get out of here, man. So they went back, okay? Abbasis, the ambassador and Jonathan, they saw what's going on. Now they went back to the camp to report, what they saw. And then while they were working, while they were traveling at the caravan, so the palace builder, the architect. Remember the architect that was with him, doing the guy that was running like a freaking wolf. He killed his brother. He killed 2 other men. Okay, he killed 2 other men, and then Joab, he was running so fast, and then Joab went and grabbed him by his hair and lifted him up because Joab was a very tall, bulky dude. He was fast too, so he met this architect on his way back. But the architect was talking to him. The palace builder recognized me, saluted me with a dignity, good taste, and admirable proportion. I praise as he deserved when he remarked that after it should be completed, it would be surpass all other palaces in the world. I could not but smile, Your Majesty, at this little exhibition of vanity, when I recall the 170 superb palaces within the walls of Nineveh, the least of which is more noble and beautiful than any edifice I have seen in the land, and especially when I thought upon the magnificence of the palace of the king. So now this he met the architect. So the architect was building a building. So, and the architect say, once I've done with building this is gonna be the best palace of the entire world. And then the ambassador, he laughed under his breath. Like, he wrote in the letter, he said, "My king," he's talking to the king of Nineveh. I'm sensing, brother, the way he worded, he doesn't want to offend the king. Because you are adding to the freaking king, man. You need to tell that king he has a very big third leg. Everything is good for him. His palace is the best. His wife is the prettiest. He is the best king of the best. So he told the king, I laugh at this guy. He doesn't know about 170 of all, palaces that we have. Especially that one palace where you say, sir, that palace is the best palace in the world. And then I laugh at this Hebrew. He doesn't know what he's doing. So kind of like, I understand why he did this, brothers, because in his previous letter, he kind of like offended the God of Assyria. He offended them. He said, like, if this God wants, he can destroy everybody. You should never say that, brothers. That's like you saying if Jesus Christ wants, he can destroy the Most High. You should never say that. He did. So, he said this, and then he was talking. Next page. This is page 80 in the book. Again, I'm just there's so much good stuff in there. I'm just cutting off, things, brothers. Okay. Now, he was talking to the king, and then Jonathan came in, and then Jonathan took him to see Saul. Brothers. Whew. Let's read, man. And the massive and carved old door stood 2 men at arms, tall, strong, mountaineers-looking fellows, armed with short swords. They wore helmets with low crests, bright red tunics, corselets of steel or cuirasses or polished iron, or of thick leather gilt and embossed, with greaves of brass, altogether a singular armor. These soldiers were the tribe of Gad, and part of the king's bodyguard, bold, fighting-looking men, and would evidently do their work thoroughly on the field of battle. They did homage homage to the presence of my princely companion, who conduct me to a broad staircase so shallow that I might not surprise subsequently to hear that the king is one of the fits of madness that sometime come upon him had spared them on horseback. So now he's getting into the palace to meet King Saul. And then while he was getting to the palace, he saw two tall ass, big ass dude standing on the door. And then he looked at them. The guys look like, you know what it just describes to you, brothers? He described the Spartans. I believe the Spartans from the tribe of Dan. Is that what that is? The people that know the true story of the 300 Spartans, King Leonidas. The Spartans, or they were Gadites or Danites? Tribe of Gad or the tribe of Dan? Which tribe? I'm not quite sure. I believe they were Danites. Samson was a Danite. Yeah, the Gada is the warrior tribe, the Native Americans. See the tall, giant mofo standing right there, guarding. So the Gadites, they were the warriors, they were the bodyguards. Okay, they were the class of warriors. Okay, they were standing guarding the place. Then, yeah, okay, I think it was then. I read the Spartans were the then in that book. Very expensive. You don't have money to buy this book. Uh, oh yes, the Danites, the Danites, when they were ruling Europe, they were known as the Danish, Denmark and stuff. Danites, they left the mark over there. Okay, but the Gadites were the warrior class. The Levite were the priests. Judah were the kingly. And all brothers, they were all warriors. But the Gadite were the formidable warriors. They were the one that the military guys. So, all right. So now he's getting in there to meet King Saul. Boy, that was pretty. This is very weird for me to read, but anyway. Among them, who I should discover, but the governor of Jericho. So he came in the whatever. He came into the place, the throne where all the people had. You know, there was a bunch of people there. Okay, and then he saw them. Okay, the Spartans were Danites. All right. Among them, who shall I discover but the governor of Jericho, okay, who had just arrived in obedience to summon from the king. He recognized and met me with great cordiality. And when I asked after his fair daughter Adora, the greatest heiress and most beautiful virgin in Israel, of whom I have before written to your majesty. So this dude already loved one of our women. He really likes Adora. Adora is the daughter of the governor of Jericho. So the governor of Jericho saw him, said, "Oh, hey man, come on, what's up? Come here, man." He hug him and shake his head. He didn't even say, "Oh, what's up?" Say, "Hey man, where's your daughter Adora?" He said, "Where's Adora?" He said, "Oh, my daughter, he's my brother. He's her brother home and stuff. They're getting some stuff repair and stuff like that." And then the things, all the stuff. And then he like, man, he went to the king again. He said, remember what that guy said about the king? He said, "King, if that woman that I'm going to get for you in Egypt, if she's half as beautiful as Adora is, my king, you will have the crown jewelry of the world." He said, "The first time I met her, I look upon her. Her beauty was so excellent. If I didn't put my eyes down, the beauty, the fire that come out of her eyes would have burned me to the ground to ashes." That's how beautiful Adora was. And she was just one of the regular daughters of one of the governors of Jericho. Okay. The dude was like asking like for for he was asking for our daughter. Hey, man, where's your daughter, our daughter, and stuff like that. He said, nah, she's not. She's with her brother at the brother home and stuff. They're doing some crap and stuff. Okay. So so and then a bunch of people were there. They thank you, adorable. Okay. Yo, the whole Europe business. I know all of those story. We were ruling Europe, England, and all that. It's just so much, brothers. I don't want to bring into that. All the tribe, all the people they are calling Celts, some of the Anglo-Saxon, Vercingetorix, the whole villages. They were all our people. Okay, so again, I don't want to go into this. Let's just proceed. So now, and a bunch of people are there to see the king. They are here to see the king, see what's going on. Some of them has businesses, and one of them they ask, "Is that business pressing, my lord?" Pressing in that in that sentence mean urgent. Is it something? Is it very important? Is it rapidly? Do you want a rapid answer? Is it very? Is it an emergency? Okay. He continued addressing the noble-looking governor. Okay. It may be to his majesty he desired to hire 60 talents of gold for this war. I am here to say that I and my friends can oblige him with it all. I rejoice to hear my good governor. I know my father needs money to pay his army. With your kind aid, all would be favorably. I will let him know you wait. Here I overheard a low voice that says someone, he will see no one today, I fear. The dark spirit is upon him. So they get in there, brothers. A bunch of people in there and stuff. So Jonathan asked one of the noble king, one of the nobles, okay, one of our people, and he said, my king, my lord, is your business is pressing? Is it urgent? Say, well, to the king, it may be. I heard the king needs 60 talents of gold. I don't know how much a talent is. Those people messed up with our unit of measurement. I believe I say like talent is like 1,000 pounds or 1 pound. Okay, so the king needs 60 pound or 60,000 pound or 600 pound of gold, and me and my friend we are here to provide this for him. If this is what the king wish, and Jonathan is happy and stuff. So while Abbasis and Jonathan's were there conversing, Jonathan overheard a dude came in, and the dude say, he won't see anyone today because the dark spirit is upon him. And then there was a murmur like people was, what's going on here? Dark spirit and stuff. Brothers, see this book. Every time you turn on a page, it's cut because it's 161 years old. So the dark spirit is upon him. Brothers, when you come upon the loin of the Most High put the freaking dark spirit on you, it's there forever. Until you kick the bucket, until you cook, it's there forever. You see, you will understand how and why the dark spirit was upon Saul. This is them. This is the Abbasis, the ambassador meeting Saul. This is how I see Saul. In front of kneeling, well, he's describing the place. In front, kneeling upon an embroidery cushion, was an Ethiopian page, richly attired, who seems patiently to await orders to go on and come. Okay? By a column of which was fastened of leaf of brass, as a written table, stood a long-haired secretary without a beard, his reed in his hand, and his silver on hanging at his girdle, that bound by a gold buckle, the long blue gown which he wore beneath a short green tunic. He was not writing, but engaged in conversation with a gorgeously clothed and pompous-looking chamberlain, who, with his green wand in his hand, was awaiting the man of the monarch. He was not writing, but engaged in conversation with a gorgeously clothed and pompous looking chamberlain who, with his green wand in his hand, was awaiting the command of the monarch. So he came in where Saul was, but Saul was, anyway, we'll get to Saul. He saw two dudes, and he saw another dude, one of those kisas. He looked like he's more important than everybody. He overdressed, and he got a wand in his hand. Okay? He got, all people used to carry wand. That is why, again, when they say wand, they don't mean like those Harry Potter wand. A wand is a symbol of like, hey, I know stuff you don't know, and I got money you don't have. I'm very important. But Deborah had a sacred horn, a magical wand. Okay, if you know anything about the Big Brother from DC, Big Brother is Deborah. They will swagger jack Deborah's story. You know, they give it to Big Brother. You know, if you have time, you can watch what they call this movie. It's called Batman and Superman Apocalypse. You know who Big Brother was. She's pretty strong. All right. And walking a great stride. Define the word strides. Stride. 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 Walking at a great strides up and down the long hall, his eyes fixed upon the floor, his arms folded across, his Herculean chest, and his large noble feature overcast with troubled thought, I beheld the king himself. He could not be none other. It was not necessary for the young prince to look at me and say in a low touched sorrow, there is my father. They saw King Saul. Saul was walking up and down with his eyes and on the floor. He was talking, stride. Garwood or present striding. No. That's stride. Okay, march in long specific direction. So Saul, he was crazy. The dark spirit is upon him. So he's walking up and down, long stride. He was walking like very fast with his head down, and he was talking to himself. I don't know what's going on and stuff like this. He was walking. I'm the king in this. And then he turned back. I'm the king in this thing. I don't know what. And then he turned back again. And then up and down, up and down, up and down. That's all he do all day, talking loud, yelling, cursing, up and down, talking. So Jonathan saw him, and Jonathan, with a very sad voice, he say, it's not bad over there, man. Jonathan was really hurt, brothers. Yeah, Saul was taking very long step, like he was trying to cross a mud. He was trying to cross some type of that dark chocolate emoji. He was trying to walk over it, but he was walking so fast and then was talking. It's tormented. Thank you. That's the word. His Majesty took no notice of us, but walked by the foot of the throne and then returned to the lower end of the room thrice before he seems to be aware of our presence in his audience chamber. Okay? I had therefore an opportunity of observing him. He was the most magnificent looking man I ever seen, I ever beheld. Tall, with almost the proportion of a splendid giant, yet form the perfect symmetry of his limbs, carrying himself. So what he told you here is saying, Saul was big, just like Samuel. Saul was a big ass mofo. Saul was big. He was 58 years old, I believe. Somewhere in the book they say he was big. Okay, Saul was very tall. He was bulky. And the giants back then, brothers, the giants are crooked. The giants look infirm. The giant looks very bad. They got one limb taller than the other. The giant looked very, very ugly back then. The giants didn't look perfect like a giant man. They they are big giant, and then they got one hand that look like a normal people hand, and the other hand can reach on the ground. The giant were like all messed up because they weren't naturally formed in the womb. Okay, so Samuel, okay, Samuel was pretty big, and then Samuel was Saul was pretty big, and then Saul was like firm. He was steady man. Okay, he was like a giant, 6-7 feet tall, but he wasn't, because giant, when you saw them, they're like, oh, this is a freaking giant over there, man. All right. With the firm, graceful, and noble hair. His head was grand and covered with the short masses of curly locks. So, Saul had short dreadlocks. Okay, with which were black as night. So he had dark black, black hair. Okay, all right. Let me see. His ample forehead remind me of the god-like brow of the statue of Sardanapalus, and in front of your majesty's palace. He seems to be about 56 or 58 years of age. A few silver threads woven into his heavy beard, okay, which covered only his upper lip and cheek, betraying that he has passed the goal of 50. He was warriorly attired in a suit which half half armored, half citizen costume, his majestic breast being protected by a corselet curiously woven of silver chain, while a silver helmet with a white plume flowing from the golden crest cover his head. So Saul was big. He was a young man. Saul was like 56. He was in 50s. Saul was like in his 50s. His hair was short dreadlocks. His beard, he got a big black beard. And then he wore giant kingly attire. But he was freaking crazy. Brothers, this is very important, man. That's when they told you the Most High put a spirit upon you. I seen this, brothers. One sister come upon the loin of the Most High. The Most High made her crazy. The Most High sent her a dark spirit upon her. I blocked her from everywhere. I blocked her phone. She been trying to call me. I blocked her phone. The Most High put the dark spirit upon it. She can just talking to you. Oh, you this, what that? Huh? I love you, Big Levi. How you doing? Is everything all right today? Everything's good? Okay, well, I can't wait to see you tonight. Go F yourself. Go this. It's a dark spirit. Because she said something to the Most High with her heart. Brothers, anybody you see trashing our brothers, the Most High put a very bad spirit upon them. Empty vessel, the Most High put something in there and fill you up. Yeah. She lost her freaking mind. She left a message crying, laughing, complimenting, cursing. And now I'm understanding, wait, this is of the Most High. She said something horrible, not to me. Well, she thinks she said it to me or Big Judah, but she actually said it to the Most High. The Most High, am I a black this person? Horrible person. A narcissist. Yeah, well, what you're calling bipolar, that's what that is. You see, a bipolar person doesn't act like that. A bipolar person, sometimes they feel like mild bipolar. They feel sad, and the next time they feel happy. They don't feel happy like this, calling you, hey, man, what's going on? You're going to go to hell. You're going to do this and that. I'm sorry, Big Levi. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Hello? Are you listening? I'll see you tonight. Thank you. Oh, you so stupid, Big Levi. Why you say this? There's too spirit in her. If I play the message for you, brothers, it would mess up your mind. And I understand why the Most High did this. The multiple sisters did this. You know why? The Most High gave them opportunity to repent. They don't. Yeah, they keep that. In due time, brothers, I will play the message for you, and you understand that person lose a freaking mind. Another brother another brother come upon one of the Most High's anointed. He lost his freaking mind. I saw his video. He's just rambling, saying things, and then he lost his mind. I'm like, yo, okay, that guy's gone. I understand why the Most High does this. This is what he does to Saul. Over his broad kingly shoulders was thrown a short crimson mantle clasped by a pair of steel lion's claw. A short dagger was stuck unsheathed in a board of belt and a leopard skin. So this is how Saul was dressed, okay? Excuse me. There was an air partly of barbaric splendor or partly courtly ease, and his appearance a bearing. Without question, he was a man of decided intellectual character and strong passion, with undoubted power over men, and whom his would be madness willfully to enrich or disobey. So Saul looked splendid. Somehow he looked weird. He looked like a king. He looked like a barbarian, a splendor barbarian. Okay, he doesn't know. He has problem. Give me a second. All right. Mm-hmm. Ow. All right. Whoever sent this stuff, I will answer you right after I'm done with with the story. So Paul, Saul looked very weird. He looked great kingly, but you can see something is wrong with. You cannot figure out what it is. But you're like, what is this? Okay. As he paced up and down, his great noble eyes wore a sorrowful and heavy look. They seemed to hold no light in them, but like mist hidden star to be under the veil of the cloud resting on his soul horizon. His proud fixed lips, the bent brow, the awful expression of settled gloom betrayed the strength of the terrible emotion which tore and lashes his hardy spirit. Chafed by the anger of his God and the displeasure of the powerful prophet. It was painful to gaze upon this wreck of a once proud, ambitious, and generous hearted king of the lion heart and eagle eye, who had been chosen above all his fellow to be anointed the king of his ancient race. I thought I could see the storm rolling across the darkening sky of his soul as fiery thought after fiery thought flashes like forked lightning from his surcharged brain of the reflection that he was the mark of his God wrath. The abandoner of his spirit, the victim of his vengeance, he seems at one moment to cower under his pressure and drop his head lower and lower. But the next, as I watch his face, I thought I could see look of defiant despair developing itself among the gloom. I was not mistaken. He stopped near us, raised his majestic head with hair of fierce anger, and shaking his open palms towards heaven with eyes kingly, and he cried with fearful and emphasized and appalling passionate tones, I defy the God of Israel. Sacrifice. So did I. Who should let me? Was I not the priest as well as a king? Twat not to Baal, not to Azaroth, not to the gods of the accursed Philistine. I slew the victim, but to the... What? What did thou call my son? Besotedly speaking in a natural, even tone, at this moment, his eyes rest upon us. So, they were describing Saul. Saul was crazy. He was walking around talking his eyes like he was talking to himself. And then he left his hand. And then he said, I defy the God. He said, yes, I did what I did. But I didn't sacrifice this to the gods of Baal. I didn't sacrifice this to the freaking God of the Philistine. I did that. Oh, hey, Jonathan, what's up? I didn't see you standing here. And, is that I did not do this. Stop telling me that. That's how Saul was. That's how Saul was. He was crazy. One moment he's talking to you, his eyes is all normal, and the next thing you know, his eyes turn dark, and then he start cursing. People that, give me a second. Yeah. So what happened is Saul was angry for the people that deal with narcissists. You see, the narcissist can talk to you like this, all of a sudden their eyes turn dark. That's the demon. A narcissist person, that's a term, medical term, but they're a freaking demon, brothers. They got demon embedded in them. Those people are empty vessels. They let demon get into them, and this demon won't leave. The only way this demon will leave is with them. That is why when I talk to a narcissist, I find out who you are. The best way to get rid of a narcissist is to give them a sword. I learned that from the Messiah. The best way the Messiah could have get rid of Saul, he gave Saul a sword. And guess what Saul did to the sword? He took the sword, put it down, and fell upon it. Killed himself. Well, he didn't die, though. Edom might kill him. Edomite man coming in and kill him. Yeah. No, Saul did a lot, brothers. You're going to find out Saul did a lot. Because this is what he say, I defied the God of Israel, sacrifice. So I did. Who should let me? Was I not priest as well as king? It was not to Baal, nor to Ashtaroth, nor to the gods of the accursed Philistine. I slew the victim, but to the, what are you come, my son? He suddenly spoke in a natural voice. Saul was angry, was talking because Saul was a douche. Saul was the impatient douche. He was like, hey man, I'm the freaking king here, man. Where is that Negro Samuel? I don't have time to wait for him. And he grabbed the knife. He performed the sacrifice. This is one of his many stuff that Saul did. And Jonathan explained that he was sent to kill all the Amalekites. He did not. He killed some of them. He took most of the good stuff, okay? And then he came in, and then he took the king Agag. He took him alive. He disobeyed God. Saul was a massive stick. Saul was a freaking 2/3. Saul was a 2/3. Okay, Saul, he did whatever he pleased because he's the king. He didn't want to wait upon Samuel to perform the sacrifice. He did it himself. And then he actually called upon the Lord of the Most High. Said, so what? I know, yes, of course. This is a true narcissist right here. Yes, I know what I did, but it's not my fault. Okay, so I did this. It's kind of like your fault. I am the king. Also, I am a priest. A true narcissist. This is the true level of a narcissist. The best way to get rid of a narcissist, give them a sword. They don't know how to use it. They use it on themselves. Saul was like talking, and the moment he noticed Jonathan's, the spirit left, he come back to his normal side. Say, Jonathan, my son, what are you doing here? Oh, is that you, the king? You are Abbas? And then he went back talking again. That's a dark spirit. Okay, he's transitioned from his sublime and terrible appeal to heaven to this pleasant tone of voice was like magic, most wonderful. I did not know this deed. He could not talk. Okay, he passes his hand slowly across his forehead, and then he was like, he was talking. Something is in his mind. Okay, he doesn't know what he's doing. As he's collecting his thought, and the clouds slowly pass away, and with his benign and noble yet touching voice, as if the wave of emotion still trembling a little, even then the dark simum of passion had passed by, he continued. I hope you have not waited. This youthful stranger is no doubt the prince of Abbasis of Assyria. I welcome you, my poor court, noble ambassador. My son has spoken to you so favorably that I already regard you as a friend. So now the spirit left him, and then he's talking well. He tell the prince, "Oh, you are the Prince Abbasis, the ambassador. My son speaks so well of you, and I believe we should be friends forever." And he shake the man hand and stuff like that. He keep continue talking. I rejoice that you came into Judea. It is my desire to hold relations of the strongest friendship with your monarch. At present, we are a young kingdom, and it will require time to give us position and name among the kingdom of the earth. I trust your royal master Belus is well and at peace in all this realm. So he said, "Yeah, man. So yeah, man, we're a young kingdom, man. I trust that your Assyrian prince is well, is in peace. Before we get into the scene, we need to make a name for ourselves so you guys can respect uh um can respect us and things like that. Say, may your king be at peace and stuff like that. I'm hoping to be friends." He was speaking very well, brothers. Okay. Right, where I was. Yep. "He is well, your majesty," I answer, "and would have sent a personal message to you by me, but so infrequent is the intercourse between my country and the West, and Belus has been so short of time of the throne, and he had not heard that your people had changed his government so that of a monarchy, although I have learned that you have been many years king." So he said, "Oh yeah, my king is all right, but we have little talk with your country because we didn't know you guys had a king, but they know they had judges. Okay, they know they had judges, but they didn't know they had king because Saul was the first king." He said that we didn't know you guys have kings for many years. And then Saul looked upon him, and then his eyes just went dark. And then Saul goes, "Many years?" And then the spirit gun again. This is crazy. "Yes, but if not long enough, you have made my name known of the Tigris. I have reigned, I feel to little purpose, for I have not even expelled the Philistine from my borders. But young prince of Assyria, he had it, stamping his foot, and then he was talking very calm, and then he stomped his foot. Bam! How can a king reign and conquer, bless his kingdom with heaven home against him, hell league to destroy him, and earth most powerful seal hurling prophecies of evil upon his own head?" And then Jonathan said, "My dear father," touched his arm, and speaking as tenderly, he stood his child. "The holy prophet holdeth no anger. He is but the mouth of God. He pities you." Pities? Samuel of Ramah pities Saul the king? The hardy prophet may beware by the head of my father. If he pities me, I will slay him. Did he cling for safety for the very wings of the cherubim? This was spoken with This was spoken with insane violence. His eyes shot for fire. Ha! Woo! Saul was like very calm talking. And then he said, how in the brothers, I don't want to use the word, but say, how in the hell? He said, how can a king reign and conquer and bless his kingdom with heaven army against him, hell league to destroy him, and a freaking prophet, the most powerful guy on this earth, prophesies evil against him? He said, how the you want me to do this? God is against me. Hell is coming against me. A freaking prophet. He was angry. His eye was dark. The evil spirit was born. Saul was cursing. He said, "This is the mother. How do you want me to do this? I can't do this." And then Jonathan came in and touched his arm. Jonathan said, "Father, please. Saul he pities you. Pity me? How go pity me. He said, pities Samuel of Ramah, pity Saul the king. The hardy prophet may beware. He said, Paul better watch his ass. If I catch that nigga out of there, man, I'll blast his ass, man. He threatened to kill Saul, man. He threatened to kill Samuel. That pride, he threatened to kill Samuel. He said, Samuel better go hide under Archangel wing. I'm going to get this nigga and I'm going to kill him. That's how bad Saul was. And he shot forth fire. You know, brothers, when they say his eyes shot forth fire, it just reminds me of Superman, man. It just reminds me of that laser beam that come out of his eyes. It could be true, man. It could be the demon was upon him and then fire come out of his eyes, because old man Solomon told you, brothers. And when he called one of the demon, and the demon was like so angry, he was like, "Oh, let me go!" And then fire come out of his mouth. Things happen, man. Okay, fire. Okay, let me see. This was spoken with insane violence. His eyes shot forth fire. His face flushed with his burning blood. His whole mighty form was dilated with strong wrath. His form of the mouth. So, and his eyes become so red, and his face engorged, and then foam was all over his mouth. Saul was crazy. Saul was crazy, brothers. Foam, his mouth started foaming. He shook his clenched hand toward Ramah as he saw visibly the prophet. He laughed aloud. He stood before us a madman. So his mouth was foaming, and then he looked at the window. He looked where Samuel stuff, and then he like, "I'm gonna get you, Samuel. You, Samuel. I'm gonna kill you and stuff." He was yelling. He was angry, man. That was Saul. Suddenly, a rapid and troubled gesture made by the prince to a distant part of the hall was answered by a strain of music upon a string instrument, evidently from unpracticing or trembling hands. So Saul was ready to take off. He was about to go there to kill Samuel. So like, I'm gonna get that mother lover. He was laughing, and then Jonathan saw this, and Jonathan run, and he made a sign with his hand, and a couple of musicians came in, and they start playing music. They start playing music on the harp. They start playing, and then Saul started to calm down, and then he turned around, and then he was crying and said, "Oh, how you guys doing? What's going on here?" And then the music was playing, the harp was playing and stuff, and then he calmed down. His eyes turned back to normal. He talked normal. And then the music continued to play. The irate monarch, whose world pride of character have been suddenly and sharply wounded at the idea that him who he regarded as his enemy pity him, paused of the sounds tuned slowly towards him, and fixing his terrible eyes blazing with supernatural splendor upon a gallery where two players dressed in white stood performing, he seems for a moment to be listening. Okay? Saul was listening to the music, and then he calmed down. And Saul was so violent. Let's read it. But a false note being struck to utter a shout of vengeance or scorn and draw the dagger at his belt, he sprung forward with death to the unhappy player in his eyes. So what the guys were scared of Saul because he was angry, and then he started to calm down and stuff. And then one of the player, and then in his fright, he was so scared he pulled up a wrong note. So he was playing the harp, and then his finger pulled a wrong note, and then the musical wrong note hit Saul in the ear, and then Saul get angry. He pulled up a dagger, and then he run like the Flash and grabbed the musician, and then he pulled the dagger ahead, and he was about to kill him. And he said, "Mockest thou me? Darest thou?" So he called the unhappy musician. And the moment I stood before him, it was an act of wholly impossible. So the king, the ambassador, saw he was going to kill this innocent man. This musician was playing, and then he was so nervous, and he run and pull off one of the one note, and then the one note hit the demon, and then the demon run and grab that dude. He was about to kill him. So the ambassador intercept. Okay, all right. It's 10 o'clock, brothers. Really? I don't hear my phone. Anyway, give me a second. All praises to the Most High. Day 19 down, brothers and sisters. We are calling upon Abedel to sanctify and certify the fast. May the Most High YAHAWAH, the all-powerful, eternal one, the one that I'm not worthy to say his name, may he look upon this fast with respect. May he have respect unto him. May he deliver us with a great deliverance. Thank you and amen. 1, 2, 3. All praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises. All praises to the Most High. Fast. The fast is certified. Oh boy. Yeah. So Saul run and grab the dude. He said, "Mockest thou me? Are you freak dog? Saul, are you freaking kidding me? How dare you?" He called the unhappy musician, and the moment I stood before him, it was a act wholly impulsive. "O king, most wise and good, thou art too just to arm the innocent of a stain the purity of thy scepter by deed of blood on those poor harpies, thy slave," I said, with the firmness and force which I am since surprised at, as well as the result. So you see what happened here? When he about to kill the guy, the ambassador, a heathen, he stepped in. When he did this, he didn't even react. He stepped in. He said, "My king, please don't do this. You are too great, powerful. You're too good to soil your reputation by killing a poor innocent harpies, your slave." And then Saul looked at him, and then his eyes went back to normal. And then he put the dude down. And then the heathen, he even surprised of what happened. He said, "I have no idea how I done this." Guess what? It was the Holy Spirit that jumped into this heathen, these Gentiles, and intercept and spare the blood of this innocent man. This man, this Opis right now, is one of your ancestors. He lived because of a Gentile step on the behalf of this. Okay, he was surprised. Said, "How did I did this?" He said, "I don't know how that happened, but all of a sudden, brothers, it's one thing you never did to a king. You never talked to a king. You never respond back to a king. You never judge a king or give a king any type of advice against this. But the Most High show his power. The Gentiles stepped in front of Saul. So Saul would kill this dude. He said, "My king, please don't do this. You're too good, too powerful to soil your reputation by killing this poor innocent harpies, your slave." And then Saul stepped back, and then the spirit went away from him. Okay? "O king, most wise and good, thou art too just to arm this innocent, or stain the purity of thy scepter by a deed of blood on those poor harpies, thy slave," I said, with the firmness and force which I am surprised, which I am since surprised at, as well as at the result. For an instant, as I stood in his path, the glittering steel which he held waved in his hand, irresolute above my heart. I held his blazing eyes steadily with mine. Jonathan would have come to rescue me from what he believed certain death, for my sword was undrawn. When with a sudden change of purpose, he shifted again the bloodless steel His face relaxed and stern and violent expression. His eyes parted with thy fierce fire, and with a look of amity. And with God, he laid his hand upon my arm and said, "Thou art right, Prince. Saul the man, he's not so mad that Saul the king forgets his justice and mercy. I see thou not think I am mad like this Samuel and the rest of the Hebrews. Thou seest in me only unhappy king. Divorce I perceive as neither pity, pity nor reproach. I am now calm. The dark spirit at that time possessed my soul as flown. He cannot bear words of kindness. Prince, pardon my discourtesy to thee." So when he was about to kill the dude, so Abbasi stepped in, and then the knife, the dagger, stopped right there at Abbasi's heart. So Abbasi raised his hand, his sword was still sheathed. He didn't draw his sword. And then Saul look at Abbasi, and then the spirit gone away from him, and then he come back, and then he put the sword, his dagger back, and then he said, "I'm sorry, man. You're right. You see, you are not like my people. You are not like Samuel and other people, the other Hebrews that think I'm crazy. You do not pity me. Okay? You do not feel sorry for me. You know that I'm unhappy and stuff. You're right." He said, "I'm so sorry for what I did. Can you forgive me?" And then the king put the ambassador put his hand down, and then and the ambassador said, "How my heart bled for him. Deeply did I sympathize with the heathens, the Gentile." He feels so sorry for Saul. This is the kind of punishment the Most High put on you, man. And you understand why Saul always tried to kill David with a freaking javelin or a spear, because the demon was upon him. Okay, the guy said, "I feel so sorry for him, man. That guy, wow, to live like this, man. This is all messed up." Okay, now he was now throughout composed. What had first excited him was explaining to us an hour before we came in, and had received an impudent and hardy challenge from the Philistine, the king, written in the blood of the. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I jump. Whoop, and no, that's the same. No, that's the same page. Give me. Accept Majesty, happy king. Okay, now. He was now thoroughly composed. What had first excited him was explaining to us. An hour before we came he had received an impudent and hardy challenge from the Philistine king, written with the blood of one of his spies who had been taken and slain, upon a piece of a sacred parchment of the holy law. It had been shot in the window fastened to an arrow, and fell aside of the throne of the king, sat thereof, giving audience. So now, why Saul, the spirit is gone away, because this spirit cannot take good compliment. The spirit cannot take pity. The spirit cannot take good truth. Anytime you tell the truth, the spirit will move. That is why the spirit is constantly upon Saul, because the people keep telling him, "You great king, you this," and then you have to chase the spirit with music. Okay, good music, righteous music. One of the guy, he made a false note. King Saul almost killed him. So Saul calm down now. He sit on his throne. He's listening to the people, the matter of the people, and then he was decide. While he was listening, and then he heard a noise, the window shattered, and then an arrow fell right in front of him. And then there was an attack. Everybody drawn the swords, battle formation, and then one of the dude came in and took the arrow and pull it out of the yard. And then the arrow has a piece of paper in it, a parchment, and there's a message in this arrow written in blood. Before he told you what's in this message, he said, "One should know in order to comprehend the full insult of the challenge, okay, with what superstition reverence the Hebrews regarding the sacred parchment. If a man see a fragment of the ground, he dare not pass it, lest one of the name of that God be upon it, and it be trodden underfoot. It is a great crime in any way to desecrate it. But one of his mysterious name, no man ever would or dares to write. The scribes express it by blank space. He said, in order for you, my king, he's written to his cousin, to understand the insult that was happening. The Hebrew have a law that says anytime you pass and you see a piece of paper on the ground, you should not step on it, just in case this paper have the name of the Holy One written in it. Even that, the scribe also so deathly afraid of their God, they never wrote his name down. They always leave his name blank. They'll put a blank space, like a line. They put a space. That's how holy the name of the Most High is. The only time, brothers, I can recall the name of the Most High was written on something was in Methuselah's sword. That's why his name is so holy. Your mouth is not supposed to say his name. He give you a name to say, but the Most High holy name? You say the Most High holy name with your mouth? Did I tell you I wrote a book like you said, if you truly, which you can't, say the name of the Most High, you can destroy this entire earth, or with yourself too. Okay? And they're going to tell you why. They're going to tell you why the Hebrew never call him by name. And I see people in our community are fighting each other for the name of the Most High. I know the name. You don't. Give me credit, Negro. I'm GOLLSC. You know, you guys took my name. I called the name YAHAWAH. I was the one who come up with the name. Yeah, right. Whatever, Negro. Okay? But others may lawfully be written. The Philistine knew this. Moreover, blood is deemed sacred by the Hebrews. To make use of it, as was done by the Philistine, was thereof a twofold insult. Not to speak of the slaughter of the poor spies whose lives supplied the stream in which the reed was deep, the boldness of the bowman who could approach so near the walls unseen as to send through the window a shaft with the challenge secured to its feathered end, increased the wrath of King Saul. In vain the bearer of the bold challenge was sought for. The king and in the meanwhile coming the scribe to read it. Okay? He said not only this thing is insult because they killed the spies. Blood is very sacred to the Hebrew. They took the blood of the spy, they wrote the message. And then the guy was so bold, he come close to the castle without nobody seeing him, and he shoot an arrow in the window, almost killing Saul. Which means that was the work of the Most High. He allowed this to happen to get with Saul. And then Saul asked one of his scribes to read it. And this is what the letter said. To Saul of Kish, king of slaves, Goliath of Gath sendeth greetings. By his writing, he challenged him to a single combat for his crown. And the valley of Mount Gibbo, before Socho, he rated Saul the Hebrew, king of slaves. Why should thy army all perish? Come forth out of the city, and let us two men at war decide our quarrel. He that conquers shall have both kingdoms, and wear both crowns. Send me speedily thine answer, thy dog of a Hebrew, son of Kish, the herd. This was a message sent by Goliath. Come on, man. You guys familiar with Goliath, right? You guys familiar with Goliath, man. I don't want to go into that story, man. You guys familiar with Goliath? Yeah. So, in the message, Goliath used the blood of the spy. He would, yo, King Saul, you son of a female dog, you son of slaves. They used to call Hebrew that because they know they were slave in over there in Egypt. He said, "You son of slave, I challenge you, I, Goliath of the Philistine. Why should our army perish? Let's do a hand-to-hand combat. You and I, mano a mano, me and you. Whoever killed the other will rule both kingdom." Again, brothers, this is written in blood. This is a very serious thing. Okay, and then he said the one that won will rule both kingdom and will wear both crown. He said, "Send me speedily thine answer." Say, "Answer me quickly, you freaking coward, you thou dog of a Hebrew, you thou dog of a Hebrew, son of Kish the herd." So they know the history of people. He insulted Saul, called him a dog, a slave, and he said, "Answer me quickly." Oh, Goliath was freaking huge. There is little to marvel at that King Saul, with this morbid and enraged temper, should have been thrown into a great rage by the missile. The hour which the challenge I saw lying upon the floor was we entered, but had then no idea of their significance, signification. Having conducted me to a seat by his throne, he dignified King now quietly conversed with me about Assyria, the number of the chariots, horsemen, and footmen, and your majesty's armies. Inquire as to your age and personal appearance. Was amazed when I described to him the vastness of your dominion and the magnificence of Nineveh with his million of souls. So Saul was talking to Abbasis, okay? Okay? Saul was talking to Abbasis, and Abbasis was describing Nineveh to him. He said, "Nineveh is this, Nineveh is that. Nineveh got a bunch of place and kingdom, and then our army is good." So Saul was like, "What? Really? Well, then if your army is good like this," he inquired about your forges of armor, your mines of iron, or gold, silver, and copper, your pearl fisheries of the South Sea, and your fleet trading to remote Tarshish and the east, and the Azean Geber of the Red Sea of Ethiopia. So Saul wanted to make an alliance. Saul want guns, he want weapons, he wants swords. And then he was saying like, "Yo, man, how much you guys are selling me this age, man? I need to win this war." You see what the Philistine did and stuff like that. Let me see. I have already stated, your majesty, that the scepter was not to be taken from Saul. The scepter was going to be taken from Saul by the God who conferred it upon him in these earlier years, and give it to another. That the prince not only knows this, but it is well aware who the person is who is supplant himself in the war of succession. So he was written to the king. He said, "The king, not only I told you that the God of the Hebrews is going to take the scepter from Saul, is going to take the kingdom from Saul, and then he's going to give it to another person. Not only that, Jonathan know this. He knows, as the Saul's son, he was supposed to be the king, the next king. He know he's not going to be the king. Not only that, he know who's going to be the king. He knows the person that's going to be the king." He said Jonathan knew he's going to die because of the sin of Saul. The sin was very grievous, brothers. Very, very grievous. Don't come upon the Most High alone. Don't do the thing the Most High did not anointing you to do. You're not a priest. The Most High did not anoint you to be a priest. You don't go out there and performing miracles and then sacrifices and stuff. The Most High did not have anointed you as an apostle. You don't go out there and performing things and tell people to go do things and do things like that. You don't do this. This is not your job. The Most High have apostle, prophets, angels, servants, dogs, cats, everybody out there. Each of the person do their own duty. This is my duty. I don't go out there and tell people do this, do that. I perform. People call me and say, "Do you perform this?" Nope. This brother did. You go to him. Big Levi, do you do this? No, I don't do this. Big Judah, do this. Abdullah still do this. This is not my expertise. Saul step out of line. He didn't wait for Samuel. He performed the sacrifice. And he been doing a bunch of nonsense. Okay? He disobeyed the father. He did not kill Agag. And then now Jonathan know he's going to pay for that. So Jonathan know Saul is not going to be king. I mean, he's not going to be king. He's going to die. And he knew the person that is going to be the king. Okay, blah blah blah. Let me see, brothers. I don't want to make this too long, man. This is so much. Woo! Oh boy. All right, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's just we got five left. It should take us another hour. Okay. Once how heroic, noble, majestic a king was he, until that unhappy day he usurped the sacrifice, the sacred office of a sacrificer to God. It has caused him his peace, his mind, his reason, the loss of the Spirit of God, and ultimately will cause him the loss of his throne. But I will not intrude our grief upon you. So this is Jonathan talking to the to the ambassador, to Abbasis. Say, Abbasis, not only once he was a heroic, noble, majesty king until he usurped, okay? Not only Saul did this, brothers, it's not like he couldn't wait on Samuel. He did this as in to cut Samuel off. Like, yo, I don't want you, Samuel, anymore. I can do my own thing. I don't need you Hebrew Israelite men tell me what to do. I can do this on my own. I'm just going to call the Holy Spirit. I'm going to do this. This is not your job. So he cut Samuel off as in like he took the office for himself. A lot of brothers are doing this out there, man. I see people doing this and they cut off the holy priesthood of the Most High. The Most High puts on, they say, nope, that's not what that is. I cut that off. Come in my church. All those things that happen, they cut the priesthood and then they swagger jack things. Okay? His hosts are reported by our spies to be very great. Okay, that's at the war. I will not only go with you as friend, my dear prince. I said, but I will take with. Okay, so now I will take there with 600 men of my bodyguard, leaving the residue to guard my encampment. Now I offer you and the king the assistance of my brave Assyrian. Be sure there will be good service. Jonathan was talking to Abbasis. And Jonathan is very sad, man. He said, the armies are marching upon us. They're going to kill us. They challenge my father. He is in no shape or form to fight, brothers. He can't fight. He's mad. He don't know what to do. He don't know how to fight. So Jonathan said, man, don't think that I am soliciting you to fight on my side. It's just, man, things are bad. My dad can rule. I can use all the help. You listen what to Abbasis said. Abbasis said, not only I will help you, he said, can you accompany me to go? He said, not only I will drain you, not only I will go with you as a friend, my dear prince, I said, but I will take me 600 of my bodyguard, and then I will go in the battle with you. This guy barely know our people. He barely know our people. He spent less than 30 days with us. He want to fight for our people. He want to fight for the nation. And now look at us. Look at our people nowadays. We have no respect. Nobody want to fight for us. Everybody is against us. All those people, we give books, we civilize, we give all those technology and stuff. And then they blame it. They say those technology that we gave them, the technology they keep stealing in our cave, they say no, they come from unholy, like Nephilim. Okay, they take our stuff. They say no, this is don't touch this. This is magic. This is the black magic. They don't give off any respect. They don't acknowledge us. They don't acknowledge our father. This man takes 600 of his men. He's ready to fight a war. He has no idea who those people are because he read our book. He read our God. He has respect unto that. This man was a Gentile, brothers. Well, technically back then he wasn't a Gentile. He was an Assyrian, a Shemite, one of a far cousin, one of a very, very far brother. He was a Shemite. At this moment, the prince glanced his eye upon the little roll parchment called the story of which I had been reading and stuff in the lamp. Now, so they were sitting in the tent, they were talking. And remember, Abbasis went to the temple. Well, not the temple. He went to the library, and Samuel told. Remember the story. Samuel told Nathan to give him all the story he can copy. So he took the book of Ruth. So at this moment, the prince glanced his eyes upon the little roll parchment called the story of Ruth, which I had been reading by the light of my tent lamp when he entered. Jonathan said, "I see you interest yourself, noble Abbasis, greatly in our writings," he said. And Abbasis said, "They are deeply interesting to me as well as a whole new." I replied. So Abbasis said, "Your whole history is wonderful, beginning with the calling of this Gentiles spent less than a month in our link. This is how much you already know about us." He said, "Your story, your world history is wonderful, beginning with the calling of Abraham out of Assyrian Chaldea by a voice from the heavens, and coming down to his obedience and his march from the Euphrates to the Jordan, guided by a dove, which at night shone like a star in one of your ancient books record." He said, this is him telling Jonathan the story of all people, how he knows. He said, "Yo, I'm very fascinating about the story. Ever since your God called Abraham from Assyria to Chaldea, he was guided by a dove, okay, a little bird, a pigeon, you know. Holy Spirit, come on, man. Holy Spirit. He was guided by a dove and during the day and a star at night to the land, okay, to his walls here and his kingly dominion and this very land. Hebron, his chief seat of authority, while his plain was his burial place, to the romantic incident of Isaac and his son sending to Chaldea for his wife, and her being brought to him veiled, to the wonderful carry of Jacob. So he's telling all the history of our people to Jonathan. That's how fascinating that guy was. He was learning, writing things. He has all his scribe writing things, telling him the story. He know all the story. Again, brothers, don't make no mistake. All those Gentiles, they know who we are. They know our story, man. But they swagger jacket. Okay? The selling of Joseph, the famine which drove them into Egypt, the sudden elevation of the youthful Joseph to power, the story of Joseph, you know that. His revelation of himself to his brethren, first their amazement, and then their terror, lest he should avenge him of them. He know when Judah went, when the guys went to Egypt, he know the battle of Dinah. You know the battle where all our Hebrew brothers went and killed, massacred the whole city. He knows, he read about those things, okay? Okay, and joy of his forgiveness, their presentation before Pharaoh, the death of Joseph, and his dying injunction of his descendants should take his bone to his very plain where his ancestor has been buried, and the extraordinary fact that 180 years after the descendant of himself and brethren did actually leave Egypt and come to this land and bury the bones of Joseph with his father in the cave of Machpelah, which is I can by day behold in full view from here to my tent door. He said that he know everything. He's saying, this is where I can, where I'm sitting down, this is where your forefather, 180 years ago, Joseph, is buried right here. He said, this is that. He's learning everything, brothers, from our people. The power of your God exhibited in the divining of the Red Sea and the Jordan, and in many other mighty deeds. All these events and incidents are part of a wonderful history, such as a mere human invention could never approach in interest or in marvels. This This God already loved our God, man. He said, this wonderful God that you have, the things that he done, there is no way on earth anybody could possibly imagine, make up these stories. He said it's impossible, man. Yo, you got a great God. From the beginning of the end, it possessed a singular harmony of proportion and dependency, one event leading to another, and a whole heart out from foreseen, okay, from his foreshape circumstances by wisdom and power, excuse me, which must have perceived the end from the beginning. But his narration, all the legend of our Persian poets are insignificant and weak. He said, yo, based on your story, your God, the freaking the stuff we have in Assyria and Persia, their stories are weak. Their stories are weak. That's how, brothers, all those Hercules stories, all those Avengers, Star Wars, Harry Potter, they're all stories. He said this. He said our stories are weak. Yo, this is a great story. They just changed the name of our heroes. Hercules, aka Old Man Samson. Okay? What will the ultimate end? We can foresee. And then Jonathan, look at him. Jonathan said, you understand our nation without a doubt. We are working and out some mighty problem in which God is interested, in which we are but the blind instruments. Okay, our prophets plainly teach us that whatever we do, we but prefigure something yet to come. That all our national events and our religion's rights are but type of sort of great thing to be developed in the ages yet future. He said, you see that? We are nothing in front of our Father. All of us, we are instruments of his will. He can use us anything. And the prophet told us, like, every single choice that we make, this choice will echo in the future. Be careful of what you do. That's why Jonathan knew he was going to die, because of what his father did. And he knew who was going to be the king. That our tabernacle, our sacred ark, our altar, our incense, our lamb sacrifices, morning and evening, our even candlestick, our shewbread, our holy sacrifice, our high priest, breastplate, all are not what they seem, but foreshadowing a mighty reality yet to come, forth out of the splendor of glorious future. He's talking about, Jonathan is talking about things that's going to happen now. Okay? They teach that all we are as a nation, and all we are to do, all we are and do, we hold but the place of the scaffolding by which a fair temple is unprepared, which when the holy edifice is completed and all its symmetry and fair proportion is removed and cast aside as no further value, now the end of for which was made us is achieved, we are mystery to ourselves. Okay, to know the art of, Jonathan says something here, man. He said, to know the art to touch the finer chord of a soul with the pen, make the poet. Okay, so he said, I should gladly hear all that your priest can reveal. That's the hidden talking. He said, I should gladly hear all your priests can reveal on your religious right and usages. He answered. He said, I answer. I will give you the opportunity at an early day, answered the prince. He said, yo, man, I would love to know what your priest know, because he really didn't know. He know the history, but he doesn't see any miracle yet. You haven't seen the priest do stuff yet. And Jonathan said, Jonathan said, I will give you the opportunity at an early day. He answered the prince. We are speaking about the book of Ruth, right? It was written by the youthful David, my friend, whom we saw at Ramah. It is a noble and sweet poem, taught not rhythmical, but taste and feeling, and to know the art to touch the finer chords of the soul with the pen, make the poet. Damn! Jonathan killed it right there. It says, to know the art to touch the finer chords of the soul with the pen, make the poet. He's describing David. He said not only David know how to play that thing, and then he know how to write too. He wrote the book of Ruth. And then he said, how indigenous his disposition, how true are his instinct to the purest emotion of our nature. I love him, Abba says, passing the love of maidens. And he not only returns my full affection, but I believe that my friendship is necessary to his existence. And each other preserved, we are perfectly at peace. He said, David is this guy that wrote this book. He's a great man. And I love him, man. I love the brother. I love him more than I love any women. Okay? And for those of you that are going to take this and go left with it, that's not what it means. Remember, Jonathan had a problem. He knew he was doomed. He could not look up to his father. The father was not a father figure. He was mad. He was in sorrow. Jonathan looked a hero. In the future, when we do the next stuff, Jonathan saw David. David performed certain act. Jonathan looked to David as a not only a father figure, he looked to David as a brother. They refer to them as a twin brother. The guy said the love that they have is the love of a twin brother. Jonathan looked upon David like a kid watching Spider-Man, and they look at Peter Parker. Jonathan looked upon David like some kid watching Superman, Batman. He looked at David as a hero and said, this is what I want to be, man. I want to be just like this guy. Because he know David was going to be the king. Oh boy, I spoiled the whole thing. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. I spoiled the whole thing. But anyway. Yeah, David was everything to Jonathan, man. Jonathan has a brother named Isopeth and a sister named Milcah. You know, that the sister turned out to be a huge pain in their asses. So anyway, he looked upon the brother with love. He looked upon him like when you look upon an actor, of your favorite actor, you say, man, I want to be like this guy, man. I want to be like Denzel Washington. I want to be that football player. I want to be like Michael Jordan. That's like a basketball player look upon Michael Jordan, and they love Michael Jordan. They're like, yo, I love Michael Jordan. I want to be like LeBron James. That's what it was, because he knew his father is going to die, and what the father did, he's going to die. He was supposed to be like David, but he was not. Well, what was it? The other day I was doing it. Boy, I said the other day I spent like 20 minutes doing this thing. So anyway, all right. I am interested to learn more of him. So that's Abbasis talking to Jonathan. Say, man, I would like to learn more of him. So I am interested to learn more of him, I answer. For he made upon me a deep impression, not only from the extraordinary beauty of his face and the manly grace of his bearing, but especially from his marvelous skill on the harp and his harmonious voice, which is full sweetness and power. Say, man, I want to know more about that David kid, man. Harry Potter. I want to know more. Not only this guy, he's handsome, he played the thing very well, but his voice, when he was singing, I cry. That means the Holy Spirit was already embedded in David, man. The Holy Spirit was glowing upon David, man. Everybody loved David. David did some pretty scumbag stuff too, man. Okay, we're not gonna give David a pass here, man. Once we get to the chapter, we're like, whoa, David was a massive scumbag. Some of you know what he did. Anyway, you shall hear all that I take will interest you, my dear prince, said the warrior Hebrew youth as he replaced the flexible parchment of the book. Now, brothers, this is very important. This is very, very important. Okay, the whole chapters, I'm going to read all of it. Okay, this is very important. Okay, he said, my friend is the son of the Hebrew elder Jesse and was born at Bethlehem. The rocky castle here we pass we pass an hour after leaving the fortress of the ancient and unconquered Jebusite on the right hand. He said, my friend David, he was born of a shepherd. Is that what that is? of an elder Jesse. Okay, he was born in Bethlehem, like that certain king that was born in Bethlehem, but that guy was born in the hood of Bethlehem. Okay, all right. His father is a man of mark and substance. Okay. Wait a minute. No, passing now. Yeah. His father is a man of mark and substance, and also a shepherd following the honorable pursuit of a patriarchal forefather. Say David father Jesse, he was a man of mark. He was a respected man, and he was very rich. Substance. Well, I don't know. Substance could mean rich. Substance could mean intelligent in here. So we'll see what that means further down. Okay. And then he was also a shepherd, like our forefathers. This worthy citizen is moreover the grandson of Ruth, the wife of Boaz, the owner of the wheat field where she gleaned after his reapers. Thus, Jesse is not our pure Hebrew lineage, for the beautiful Ruth was from the land of Moab. He said Jesse was not pure. Jesse's grandmother was a Moabite, so-called a little Chinese lady. But when you read the other books, Ruth was not a true Moabite by blood. Ruth was an Israelite. What is it? Oh, ma, give me a second. All right. Anyway, but for the sake of this book, we'll call Ruth a Moabite. Okay. It said, so Hebrew lineage for the beautiful Ruth was from the land of Moab. And Abbasis asked, who was Moab? He said, who was Moab? I asked. And where is this country? On the east of the sea of Sodomy, kindly answered the prince. Moab was one of the sons of Lot, the nephew of Abraham, born to his eldest daughter after the destruction of the cities of the plain. This unnatural child became the head of a powerful nation. He was born about the same time with Isaac, our great ancestors. So Jonathan was explaining sorrowfully. He said, yeah. And the prince, the ambassador said, who's Moab? And he said, Moab, he said, who's Moab? Where's his country? He said, Moab, they live over there by that sea. Moab was a cousin of a nephew of Abraham. Is that what that is? Yes, son of Lot, the nephew of Abraham. Okay, so this unnatural child become the head of a professional nation. Why Moab was an unnatural child? Moab mother, this is weird. Anyway, Lot had two daughters, okay? The two daughters drug Lot and they rape Lot. Okay, they give Lot booze and then they rape Lot, and then Lot oh boy. Okay, well, they preheated their oven and then they give their father wine, and then the father put the dough in the oven. They baked that bread, and the bread came out to be Moab and Ammon. So Moab and Ammon are the so-called Japanese and Chinese. Okay. Again, brothers, do your research. I'm not saying that's what I learned. The Japanese or the Ammonites, the Chinese or the Moabites. Okay, that's what that is. That's what, the unnatural, because those two people, they are unnatural. And there's something that the most I say about them. This is very, very, very bad things going to happen to those people because they weren't supposed to born like that. But the daughters, okay, they did this. Okay, so all right, I'm not saying this is a fact. Please do your research, brothers, and find out. I know what I know. Okay, all right. If then, I reply, if my desire to obtain full information of these people, the Moabites are descent from a nephew of Abraham, Ruth being in his race traces her ascent equally from you Hebrews to the grandfather of Abraham, and from both you and the Moabites meet, she can therefore hardly be called a foreigner. This rich shepherd Jesse, Therefore, her grandson has the same blood that Abraham had in his vein. This is very important. The Abbasis, the ambassador, told Jonathan, say, yo, if Ruth could not, Ruth is actually one of you. If Ruth's father was an Israelite, the mother was a Moabite, that means the blood come from Abraham. So she could hardly be called. Well, they didn't know this. Well, he just said this about the Holy Spirit. Okay, he just said by the Holy Spirit. He said he prophesied this. He said, what, this she can be hardly calling a foreigner because she had the blood of Abraham flow through her. This is what Jesse said, or Jonathan said. True, he said true, but courteously answered the prince. But the command of God, all collateral kindred to Abraham were cut off. Okay, Jonathan said, but yes, that's true. But the command of God, all collateral kindred to Abraham were cut off. So all Abraham brothers and sisters and stuff, they were cut off. The Lord cut them off. Collateral, cousins and all that, they cut them off. The cut off brothers, that mean they are not, anyway, well, they are cut off. I don't want to go into this. It will take too long. All right? Well, they were cut off. And only the immediate descendant of the kingly patriarch recognized as the people of God's peculiar care. He has never called himself the God of Lot or Moab, but only of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, yes, Ruth may be one of us, but Father said, all Abraham's collateral, he cut them off. Abraham's cousin, brothers, cut them off. Fathers, cut them off. He cut all of them off. He never called himself the God of Lot. He never called himself the God of Moab. Only the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is why, brothers, when we are praying, we're calling upon the God of Adam, the one that created the first man, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Anything else? We don't know. Yes. What is it, baby? Checking on you. Yeah, I'm still reading, man. Still reading. That is why. This is our God. This is how we refer to him. It's a title. It's a line. That's how you call him. He said, but he has never called himself. The Most High never called himself the God of Lot or of Moab, but only of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who the hell are you, man? You're going to get, oh, yeah, man, he is my God too and stuff. Oh, hell no, man. Oh, hell no. You have to directly come from this bloodline so it can be your God. You can make him your spiritual God, but your true biological father. All right. Okay, so Jacob, and his name to us in the past, present, and forevermore. Okay, he said he has never called himself the God of Lot or of Moab, but only of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is his name to us in the past, present, and forevermore. Moreover, the descendant of Lot's daughter through her son Moab have run in a diverging line from us for nearly 900 years. He said, this is the name of the Father, the God of Adam, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is his name for now and forevermore. His most true name is, your mouth is not holy for you to say his name. The only man that was holy enough to see the Most High true form was Moses, and he died. The Most High true name, brothers, you may call it YAHAWAH, YAHWEH, Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever you want to call it. If you're not referring to the God of Adam, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when we say the God of Adam, the God that created Adam, That's why I don't deal with the so-called clone or robots people and stuff. You are comparing somebody with the Most High, and you know I despise this. You know I spit in your face, man. If you keep saying that, oh, the Gentiles can create clone and stuff, you are putting the power of the Most High upon people. You telling me there's another God out there that can create people? Not only the Gentiles can create a man that look just like Joe Biden, for some odd reason, that clone ended up winning the election. He ended up kicking the president ass and all that. Don't bring me this garbage. This is Gentile talks. The only God out there that can create men is the God of Adam, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Pardon me, my dear prince, for this interruption, I say. Be kind as to proceed. When my father had displeased the Almighty by his usurpation of the priestly office and sparing where he should destroy, as well as by 2 or 3 acts of impatient and reluctant obedience to this divine authority, he commanded his prophet Samuel to go and anointed another king over Israel, saying, I have rejected Saul from being a king. Who was Saul, thy royal father, or prince, and his youth? I inquire. Was he distinguished by any remarkable lineage, descended from Moses or Joshua or any of the warrior judges, as he was chosen in the beginning at the first king of the Hebrew? So what happened here, brothers? What happened here? The guy gets some, Abbas gets accused. He said, well, forgive me, my king, but forgive me if I ask this question. Who was your father, Saul? Was it one of those descendant of those great kings, Joshua, Moses, and all that and things? Who was it before? And Jonathan said no. He answered no. My father was the smallest tribe, the younger brother, Benjamin tribe of the people. So Saul was from the tribe of Benjamin. According to the Hebrew Israelites chart, brothers, please, I know he would have been what's the so-called a Jamaican, West Indies. It would have been like one of those people. When we say the church referred to the land. A lot of those people in Jamaica are not the true Jamaican of the land. A lot of people are in the West Indies, they are not the true people. They come from elsewhere, they usurp the land. When the church referred to the land, okay, to the land, the original people that were there, all right? If Saul was alive today, he would have been one of those West Indies or Jamaican fellow, okay? Trinidadian and stuff like that, all right? We're not going to fight over this, brothers. This is just an example, all right? We say it was from the tribe of Benjamin, the smallest tribe, all right? Okay? His father was a man wise in counsel, brave in battle, and eminent for his great strength and valiant deeds. He was a tiller of the land and herdsman, with a few men and maid servant, a few men and maid servants, and his son also served him in the care of his herds. All right, with our God, my prince Abba says. You see, this is what Jonathan said. He said, "With our God." With our God, my friend, he said, with our God, my prince Abba says, human distinctions are wholly disregarded. So the Messiah doesn't give a crap about your family. He doesn't give a crap you give for king, queens, low, high, poor, rich. The Messiah do whatever the hell he want to do. He choose whoever the hell he want to choose. This is the Messiah. He said, the Most High don't care about that. With our God, yo, you don't have to come from a king or this. YAHAWAH shall come from the hood, man. The men come from the lowest of the low. You don't know where the Most High going to pick up that stuff. Mm-hmm. I should suppose I answer from the majesty of his now more than a wreck, no more, no prince and sir. Okay, now he explained, and I should suppose so. I answer from the majesty of his form now. That is striking appearance, although it is plain, and his form now is striking appearance, although it's plain. Oh boy. I behold only a splendid wreck of the former grace, this dignity which is supposed. No more than the wreck, no more, no more, my prince, answered Jonathan, with a pensive look shadowing his fine face. Samuel, I anointed him king in the presence of many of the lords and high captains and chief estates of the land, and eventually crowned him with full regal authority. The early years of my father's reign were prosperous and happy. He strengthened himself and his kingdom. He expelled our enemies from all our borders, which in time the rulers of Samuel's sons, they had invaded and carried his victorious arms beyond our country into Syria and all his battle conquer. They say in the early years, father was good. Saul was pretty good. He started to gain strength and stuff, and then Saul started to get really proud. He started to make the people bow down to him and keep them bow and leave them there. He started to abusing the people and like calling himself king and stuff, things like that. He became very proud. But one of the nations called the sons of Amalek, which treacherously did our father great mischief when they were wandering in the wilderness. Okay, the Amalekite killed a lot of our people. They did a lot of mischief. They killed a lot of our women and children when we were in the wilderness. Okay, they killed them sneaky way. The Amalekites, you know what I'm talking about. The Amalekites did this. Okay, Samuel the seer had commanded him to destroy utterly by the expression direction of God. My father conquered the Amalekites, but saved the king Agag and a portion of the spoil against his command. This also caused God's anger to be kindled against my father, and was another reason of his rejection as king. Yet with the people he was honored and admired as a successful warrior, as wise ruler. But who can stand against the anger of the Almighty? Thy God is and the Gentiles said, thy God is terrible in power and glorious in majesty. Say King Saul, he was doing all right. Father, YAHAWAH, the Almighty One, commanded Saul to go over there, kill all the Amalekites, don't leave one alive. Kill everybody, every beast. He went out there, he killed some people, he take the king alive, he take a bunch of stuff, asses and spoil, and then he brought them back. Samuel was pissed off. The Most High was pissed off because Saul is known, Saul was a freaking two-third. He does whatever the hell he want to please. A freaking two-third, a narcissist. Okay, and then the God say, yo, your God is a terrible God. And it is glorious in power and majesty. Who can offend him and escape punishment? That's the Gentiles talking. He say, who can escape? Who can escape he said, thy God is terrible in power and glorious in majesty. I answer with awe. Who can offend him and escape punishment? Aaron, his great high priest, for his rebellion at the waters of Meribah, and for not preventing the people in the wilderness from worshiping the golden calf, was forbidden to see the promised land. There it is something singularly impressive and touching in the departure of his age. This is the Gentiles, brother, writing to the king. He's telling, not only is telling Jonathan the story he know about our people, he's writing to his cousin, the king. He said, there's something singularly impressive and touching in the departure of this age and magnificent prelate to ascend the mountain of awe to die for his sin. There's something awful and inexorable in the fiat of his God, which commanded him to go up in the sight of the whole congregation, as if he would show them that the best and the gentlest of men must be expiate their error and sin against him. The Gentiles say, holy moly, your God is horrible. That guy is terrible, very strict. That's a strict God. He took his best, gentlest men, his high priest. He killed him in front of the whole congregation. And the message was, hey, look, I killed my best man, my son Aaron, because he messed up. He rebelled against me. He didn't stop this. I killed the best. You think I have respect unto you? You think I will spare you? That was a Mosiah to his children. God comments in him. Let's see. There's a scene. That him to go up in congregation. Yeah, him. The spectacle seems to convey them the lesson. If thus I cut off my consecrated high priest Aaron, and 40 years after his sin, his yours is committed, how shall I spare you when you sin and break my law? This is a Gentiles. He understand our Father. He said, the Most High killed Aaron 40 years after the whole stuff they did. He didn't forget. And then he's going to tell you how the Aaron died, brothers. It's a horrible way. Well, it's a beautiful way, but very moving, man. He's going to describe. This is a Gentile describing to you how the Most High. He said the Most High did this. If you break my law, I'm not. Yo, that's why I told people, man. The Most High doesn't change. Yeah, you go out there, man. You do this and do that. The Most High did not spell us. He did not spell Moses, brothers and sisters. And how in the hell he's going to spell you, Gentiles, that unrepented, unyielding, the one that abuses children? How is going to spell you? Because, I'm white? Because, my ancestor did this. I didn't do this. Is that what that is? You think the Most High did this to his own children somehow? Because something is wrote in a book that says, if you do this, if you do that, you are all forgiven. The Most High is as simple as you think it's easy. The Most High is as simple as you are. You went in our book, you wrote things down, you switch things, okay? You put the meth inside of the meth addict house. You put 100 pounds of meth inside of a meth addict. You call the police. The police came in and arrest the meth addict. And the meth addict said, I'm a meth addict, but this is not my meth. And then you cause this meth addict to go to jail for life. How the hell a meth addict has 100 pounds of meth in his house? He didn't smoke it. He wasn't even aware of it. How the hell a crackhead has it? That's what you guys do. You take things in our book, you put it next to something, and then you say that's what it means. And when people read it, they say, wait, that's what that means. Woof, the Most High changed. Oh, all right then. He's my God now. There's no such thing as Israelites. He's the church God. And now you strike the beloved brother Big Judah channel because he says some truth you don't like. You took his video down. You think the Most High gonna spell you? You think that's side? What? You think you can write their little books and then switch things, put things around, put things this, and our people will stumbling over, and then they will accept you, they will pray for you? You think that's side work? Oh, hell no, man. Oh, hell no. I can imagine, Your Majesty. This is the Gentiles, brother, talking to his. This guy's talking in fear. He said, I can imagine, Your Majesty, the noble chief priest of these people and his pontifical robes, his flowing beard and silver locks, his form bit with 120 years, slowly ascending the elevated plain of Mosiah, and crossing his painful comments the steep ascent of the peace of all. I see the vast multitude of people follow him with their sorrow gaze as the way weary hymns. He leans upon the arm of his tall, strong son Eliezer. That's the Eliezer of Aaron, okay? There's Eliezer of Abraham and the Eliezer of Aaron, all right? While his patriarchal brother, the equally venerable Moses. So Moses was there when Aaron was. This is the Mosiah taking Aaron. So Moses was there. All right. So soon after the ascent, Mount Pisgah, farther north, and die alone with the angels of God to bury him. That was Moses. Walks by his side, discussing with him the sublime and mighty truth of that other life, in which the Hebrews believe. When the three reach the mountain top with the blue skies, what they like. All right. Okay, we got one more page, then we're done. One more page, and we're done. Okay, bending ever them and the broad plain of Mosera and the valley beyond, dark with the host of Israel watching them from afar. Okay, so when Father was taking Aaron, he came in person. He just watching them. He's standing somewhere very far, and he's watching them. And it was broad daylight, blue skies. They brought Aaron in front of the Father, and then the Messiah is watching. He about to execute Aaron. With the host of Israel watching from afar, okay? I see the aged pontiff begin slowly and with trembling hands to diverse himself of the magnificent robes and gorgeous insignia of his priestly office. First, he removed from his patriarchal head the mitre, with his veil of lace of blue and fine linen, arranged in numerous ample circular fold continually, a broad plate of pure gold, of which inscribed holiness of the Lord. So Aaron, with his hand shaking, he's taking off the mitre, with a plate of gold, which was in the front, which read holiness of the God. So he's taking off the priestly garment upon him, because the Messiah about to take him. And then Moses, all the people were here, and stuff like that. So they were watching. This is the Gentiles telling your story. He places, because he was reading from the book, he places his meekly upon the brow of his son and successor. So he's passing the priesthood to Eleazar, who kneels at his feet. Then he takes off his breastplate, dazzling with the light of his 12 precious stones. He removed the splendid ephod of fine linen and twine and embroidery with gold, blue, scarlet, and purple threads, and adorned with plates of rough gold. But his aged finger cannot undo the clasp of this beautiful girdle of the ephod. And his venerable brother aids him, but with difficulty, as his eyes are blinded with tears. So Aaron, he was shaking. He was trying to take the ephod. He could not, because his hand was shaking. So Moses and Aaron, both of them are crying, and then they are taking Aaron stuff off. They are crying, and then they are giving it to Eleazar. Everybody's crying. Okay. Then Moses returned until his holy disrobe of his priestly apparel. So they took all the clothes from Aaron. Okay. Then from his shoulder, one by one, he removed the brilliant onyx stone and closed an arch of gold. We had been held chain of gold that fast in the breastplate, and attaches them upon the knobs of the ephod. So he took all the gold, all the priestly garment, and then he gave it to his son Eleazar. Upon it, he fastened. Well, I'm just jumping this right here. Okay. Upon it, he fastened the breastplate with his 12 stone, all right? And 4 rows, the first containing a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle, very precious stones. The second row contained an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper, all set in ouches of gold with rough gold border. Brother, man, I would love to wear the priestly garment, man. That was, when you see a Levite priest, that's like a superhero dressing with gold and stone and mitre and stuff. Oh, beautiful. But they are taking those things from Aaron, stripping from the priesthood, okay? A stone, a signet, and the children of Israel. And they did the august and aged pontiff diverse himself of his insignia and mark of powers and veteran of God and earth, and transferred them on the mountain top, and the sight of all the people, and the sight of heaven above, to Eleazar his son to be high priest in his stead. This sublime abdication of the Hebrew pontificate by the command of his Lord being accomplished, behold, the majestic man of God kneeled toward the people and blessed them, folding his hand upon his breast, with one look of faith resigning and meekness upward, bow his august forehead to the ground and give up the ghost. So Aaron give all the priestly garment, and then he kneel in front of the people. He blessed them, and he put his hand like Samuel, like what this is a Hebrew thing, okay? Black Panther, they do this. This is a Hebrew thing. So he kneel, he put his hand, and then he bowed down, and then he died. The Most High sent the death angel and suck his soul out, and then he died on his face. He gave up the ghost, and everybody was crying. Aaron died just like that. That's the Most High for you, man. That's the Most High. He doesn't play, brothers. You break the Most High law, the Most High gonna get you, man. Aaron just kneel, give up everything, cross the arm, and then lean, boom, he's out. And the whole history of the departure of the great men from earth are said, addressing Prime Jonathan. No account equals to the sublime spectacle of the death of the high priest Aaron. That of Moses, not long afterward, was indeed impressive, but it wanted the details of transfer of authority which rendered the abdication and death of his brother so dignifying and touching. My dear Abbasis, said the prince, Jonathan saying that, I am pleased to find your skill in our history. Jonathan say, Abbasis, I'm very pleased, man. You know our history. Like, beautiful. This is the Gentiles, brother, telling Jonathan. Jonathan said, man, I am impressed. In a short period of time, you know our whole history. Okay? All right? I have regard the, I'm impressed. Okay, I have, okay, Moses followed by the mystery of his sepulchre, because they don't know where Moses is buried, brothers. They don't know where Moses is buried. I have regard the death of Moses followed by his mystery of his sepulchre, the more interesting of the two incidents. You are right in giving presence and sublimity and tenderness to what of the high priest, but what led us to the subject were not cursing of David. Give me a moment, brothers. All right, give me 1 minute. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay. He said, we were talking, what we were talking about again? He said David. We were talking about David. All right. So I had allured the awful, we're done, brothers. That's it. We're done. We're going to say this and then we're done. All right. I had allured the awful suffering. You see, this is the Gentiles, brothers. The Gentiles say, I had alluded to the awful severity of your God in punishing sin, with an immediate reference to your royal father's sad rejection. I answered, true, Abba says, he replied, our God is a consuming fire to those who disobey him, but of long suffering, pity, and a great kindness with those who walk in the way of his divine laws. His power is infinite to punish or bless. But I will now resume my narrative of my young friend David, the son of Jesse. But your majesty, I will defer this interesting history to another letter. I feel assured that nothing concerning these wonderful people whose God ever walks among them and visibly seeing all they do, powerful to protect and terrible to avenge will uninteresting to you. Farewell, and may the gods of Assyria be evermore your friend and your majesty. Okay, so this is letter 5. Letter 5 is done. Okay, tomorrow, if we have time, we'll take letter 6. Okay, in letter 6, they explain how Jonathan meet David. All right, so brothers and sisters, all praises to the Most High, brothers. All praises. Okay, all praises to the Most High. We learned something, certain stuff I didn't know. We learned how Saul get really messed up in the head. All right, the Most High doesn't play, brothers and sisters. You mess with the Most High. This is the throne of David, 1860. They got 1888. The people that have the 1888 version, please read it, see what they take out. This is the purest version. This is 161 years old, brothers. Okay? 161 years old. So, yeah, the Most High does not care who you are. The Most High will take you out, brothers and sisters. Don't tread upon the Most High. And I see and I understand why a lot of Gentiles are so proud. They're walking around unrepented. They're walking around doing whatever they really want to do because of the lies the pastors, their people, their entertainment tell them. Because of all the lies they read on books and tell them the Most High is all good. He's not going to do nothing to you and stuff. Oh, really? Is that what that is? He killed Aaron. He killed Moses. He made Saul mad. And you think he's going to spare you because you wrote something in our book? Brothers, keep the Most High. Make him your God. Don't cross this guy. By crossing, brothers, I meant for you to just wake up one day, you say, F it, this fast is getting too difficult. I'm getting spiritually attacked left and right. I'm going to go back to the church. Brothers, I can guarantee you, you will not come back. Believe it or not, a lot of people are here. Well, a lot of people were here because the church was closed. A lot of people that started this channel with me, I don't see them anymore. I call them, I email them, they don't answer. Churches are open. They're back in church now. Brothers, you understand? Saul usurped Samuel. Saul performed Samuel's duty as to supplant him, as to inherit the priesthood. That is why, brothers, there are certain things I don't do, I don't perform. Stay in your lane. By the power of the Most High vested in me. And he can take it anytime he feel like. I'm leaving all of you in peace. Be at peace, brothers and sisters. There will be no Jacob's trouble. Father is a man of his word. He will keep his promise. Fast, pray, repent, repeat. Day 19 down. Tomorrow is day 20. Brothers, we're going to be halfway in. We're going to come. Tomorrow, we're going to be 20% in, brothers. Well, we're going to be 50% in. We got 20 more days and we're done. Yes, all praises to the Most High, brothers. Hold the line. May the King reign forever. May the Most High kingdom last forever, the everlasting kingdom. All praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises to the Most High, brothers. This is good. 19 days, brothers. 19 days down. Tomorrow's day 20. Halfway through. Forward. May the King reign forever. Shalom. I was going to play a little music. Oh, boy. There we go. Thank you for joining us, brothers and sisters. Give the Most High all praises. All praises, all praises, all praises to the Most High. All praises. Give the Most High all praises. Selah, His will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. The God of YAHAWAH. Don't you ever cross YAHAWAH. Yeah. Don't you ever cross. Yeah. Thank you for being here, brothers and sisters. Thank you for starting with us. 19 days down. Tomorrow is day 20. We're going to move on. We're going to proceed with the fast, and then we're not going to give up. Spiritual attack left to right, we don't care. We're still going to worship our Father. He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. This is our God, the most powerful God. Yeah. Even the ambassador of Assyria want him to be his God. No, he's our God. All praises, all praises, all praise to YAHAWAH. Tomorrow, brothers and sisters, we're going to read the other books. All praise to YAHAWAH. May the King reign forever. All praise to YAHAWAH. May the Kings reign forever. Brothers and sisters, all praises. Yes, sir. Brothers and sisters, fast, pray, repent, and repeat. I will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time so we can pray and finish the fast. Shalom.